Hi everyone, fast-paced destroyer action today in the Farragut in a ranked battle, 7 versus 7, and why destroyers are so powerful.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor in the morning?
Enemy destroyer blown up. Enemy destroyer sunk. Enemy cruiser foundered.
Torpedoes to port.
USS Destroyer Farragut. Tier 6, and to me, visually, she's the epitome of World War II destroyers. She's got 5 single guns on her, and 2 quadruple torpedo launchers. She's got that low, sleek design with the long hull that's got a very narrow beam, and she just looks like a destroyer. She's one of the few ships in the game that I really think epitomizes the whole design. I mean, look how narrow that beam is. You can slot that between enemy torpedoes without a bother, and even between the shells of a salvo. I've obviously got the camouflage on her to increase her concealment so that she's harder to spot and she can get in closer. But she was, according to Wargaming, she's a gunship, not a torpedo ship. And her guns are certainly very, very good. We'll look at the spec of them in a moment. I've had good and bad experiences playing the Farragut. I'm not the best of DD players. Since I put the camo on and got her down to 6.4 kilometer detectability, it's improved her. Her 36.5 knots maximum speed certainly helps, but it's not the quickest destroyer. And her anti-aircraft ability helps, but really only in a sort of buffing up larger ships type role. She's not that great at defending herself against aircraft, and her speed and manoeuvrability is certainly where that comes into play. Now, her torpedoes are a little bit better than average for non-Japanese ships, 6.4 kilometer range, 64 knot speed, and she does have 8 of them in 2 launchers, which allows you to put them out to either side or to delay your shots. You all know how to play destroyers. The main battery, 127mm guns. Now, 2100 damage on the AP or 1800 on the HE. Is it worth switching between the 2 shells? I'm not really convinced that it is. Maybe against another destroyer, but against anything else, probably best to stick with HE. She got very little hit points, 11,500, and she is quite fragile, but at the same time she's also surprisingly tough at instances. I mean, when we look at her armour layout, you know, she's got the same thickness of armour, 16mm, all the way along the hull, on both the bow, mid and stern section, and bow on or just very slightly angled, she can bounce a surprising amount of incoming fire. Her superstructure armour is nothing to shout about, 10mm everywhere. I suppose it would be on the angling as to whether you bounced anything there, even from another destroyer. And her deck armour against plunging fire is not going to stop anything from any cruiser or larger. She's only got 15mm there, but again, she could bounce destroyer fire, particularly HE, and I've experienced that in a few battles. It does help a bit, but don't rely on your armour in this destroyer. So, ranked battles, what's that all about? Well, it's a 7v7 random battle format. where you really do have to play as teams, because if you win a battle you gain a star. Once you've got 2 stars you can move up a rank, and the idea is to get up to number 1, where you get all sorts of goodies, limited edition ships after winning a first rank so many times. But if you lose a battle you lose a star, and if you go to 0 stars on the current rank and lose another battle you drop a rank. So it's not a case of continuous progression. You will only keep climbing the ranks if you keep performing and keep delivering the goods and helping your team to win. Now we're here on the Trident map, and the matchmaking was very well balanced, and there was a little bit of disagreement with the team at the beginning whether we went to capture A or B first, and the 2 destroyers decided we were going to go for A. That kinda set the tactics for the rest of the team. It caught the battleships wrong-footed a little bit, but as you can see, the Mutsuki and I are ploughing across to A, and we've already spotted several ships coming in at us. The enemy's got 2 DDs, so we have to be a little bit careful here, and there's one of them's popped up, which is another Farragut, and there's the other, which is an Omnivoy. The Mutsuki is being very, very rockstarish and dropping a smokescreen, and I'm going to make use of that, although I was a little slow on hitting the brakes and almost shot out of it.
Torpedoes to port.
My primary concern was to get into the cap circle and block them capping, and then try to force them out of it and actually do the capping myself. And as you can see, I just overshot a little bit and started throwing some fire at their Farragut, and decided, well, let's get torpedoes in the water. It's possible that he's going to drive in a straight line, focusing on trying to clear out whoever's in this smoke screen. So I've just backed out of the cap circle to throw him off, because he would be expecting me to stay in it, and my 2 spreads, 1 narrow, 1 wide spread of torpedoes, take him out nicely with a devastating strike. Now there's still their Ognivoy down there somewhere in that smoke, and the battleships are moving in fast to reinforce him. Our battleships are standing off a little bit, they're being a little bit shy, but our cruiser is in there with us, and I narrowly avoid beaching myself. Remember that beach. That beach has an important part to play later in the video. I'm not going to spoil it too much for you. Okay, so we've now got the Auber coming through, and we desperately need to suppress him so that our cruiser can have a free rein. We've already taken out both of their destroyers. I didn't see who took the Ognivoy, but I'm very glad that they did. And the New Mexico is being very, very pushy, and I'm going to drop smoke to shield our battleships that are behind me, and then I'll swing around and try and start getting some torps in the water. I am detected at this point, and it's quite dodgy for me to just continue ploughing on a course like this, so let's just get some torpedoes out. And you know what? I'm going to back into my own smoke, because there's far too many guns coming round the corner of that island for my liking. You know, I'm only a fragile little destroyer, and staying hidden and being a sneaky little beggar is what I should be doing. Now, the Farragut's guns are pretty good, but they're not the fastest reloads, so I've got to be a little bit circumspect about how often I shoot and at what I shoot, and making sure that I remain unspotted. Now, I was so focused in on the Auber at this point that I didn't realise that I'd touched the rudder and backed out of the smoke, and I did get detected, and I thought, well, you know, what the hell, I've got speed boost running, I'm doing a speed astern that is almost the full speed of a battleship at this sort of tier, so let's just keep it rolling, let's keep hammering this Auber, keep the fires going on him, and if I can get him to burn his repair kit, then any new fires that I set are just going to keep going and whittle him right down. So I'm getting defender medals, defender ribbons all the time here. Massed up 7 of them so far. There's an 8th one. Just hammering this Auber and stopping him from progressing the cap on A. So time to turn round, make use of that island, try and get the other side of it, and there we are. The Auber burnt down, which was great. That was from the fires that I set on him. You notice I didn't get any actual damage when he finally sank. That's because I'd stopped shooting at him. He was burning away merrily. Now this New Mexico is quite a tanky battleship, and he seems to be a very pushy player, a very aggressive player, so it's time to make him think twice and stay at range so our battleships can deal with him. And in fact there's 2 of them, so which one am I talking about? Well, the one that's nearest to me, obviously. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. So, coming around the corner of this island, my targeting is focused on the New Mexico furthest away, but that's not the one that I want. I want to get that one that's closest, because he's the more aggressive player. He's the one that's going to cause the most problems for the team. So, torpedoes away, and again, second ones. Swing round hard. Let's try and get out of here, because I'm in secondary range of that close one, and there's a beach. Damn it.
Torpedoes direct front.
But managed to get some torps into that lead New Mexico,
Torpedoes dead
and
ahead.
he's still taking damage. He's flooding. Looks like he hasn't got his repair kit ready. He must have used it already. He's still flooding, still taking damage. I'm trying to back away and get the hell out of here, and oh crap, he got me. Right. Well,
Enemy battleship foundered.
there's the 3rd kill. That's the New Mexico gone with just a flesh wound award. Now, wargaming, why are you so silly? Look, I'm beached. I'm sitting on the bottom there. Why are you making me then disappear? If you were to change the game mechanic and let us sit on the bottom so that we are sunk, we can't sail off it, but we could still fight, you know, we'd be like, I don't know, almost like a little island of our own, sitting on the bottom with our guns and torpedoes above water. Obviously we couldn't turn the ship, but we could turn the guns and the torpedoes, and we could still take part in the battle, and that would be great. Really wish you would let us do that. Anyway, no doubt there'll be some comments down below after the video appears discussing the merits of that or otherwise. So, what's our Fuso up to? Well, he's putting distance between himself and that last New Mexico. And, you know, I've just posted in chat, okay boys, I've sunk half of them. I've done half their team. Come on, get back and fight. So he's swinging round, and I like the Fuso. Don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. The Fuso is a great little area defender. Having those 6 turrets means that it can engage multiple targets at once if necessary. But when it lays down a broadside, it also means that it goes in with a shotgun effect, and it's going to hit something. So the Mutsuki, which is who has survived and still has 3/4 of his health, good play by him, is coming in to harass that last New Mexico, who is on about half health. Now, just keep a close eye on this Mutsuki. This is a classic close range torpedo run. I'm kind of worried that, you know, he's got 10 kilometer range torpedoes, and he's taking a very high risk here, rushing in as tight as this. And I if it was me, I would have swung round at about 6.5 kilometers and set the torpedoes away, and hoped that the target ship didn't turn. But this Mutsuki wants to make sure of the kill, so he's closing in tight. He's just at a few kilometers, and he sets one set away, and to allow for the New Mexico turning, he waits before he sets the second set away, and gets 2 hits there, and then another 3, and it's gone, and that's the battle over. Well done, Mutsuki. Classic close action torpedo strike. So how did I do out of that? Well, we know I got 3 kills, 7 torpedoes on target, 66,500 damage done in a 7-ship battle. Not bad, that. And as the team scores show, I was top on the team for damage and experience, but the 2 destroyers took 5 of the 7 enemy teams out, and their destroyers did nothing. And that's because we shut them down very early in the game. When we look at the detailed damage, there's a bit of a turn up for the books there. You remember me saying that I'd sunk the Farragut and somebody else had got the Ognovoy? Well, it was the other way around. I got the Ognovoy and somebody else got the Farragut. Which just goes to show you shouldn't always listen to an old fart like me. Anyway, 4,000 XP and almost 250,000 credits out of that for a 7v7 ranked battle. I think that's highly respectable. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor?